to a coffee shop and did some work. Today is Tuesday, so I did that, and then I just picked up some little goodies. But I got some goodies from this place called Doro Marketplace, and I picked up just some pita bread I'm excited to try, and then I actually got this chicken salad. Even though I make chicken salad, I have work tomorrow, I have to model, so I thought it would be easy for me to just make that and put that on the bread. I got a multi-grain bread. This is like my version of the farmer's market, because you can't go to the farmer's market right now. Obviously, because it's winter. But let's try these. I saw these last time I was there. And let's see. Although I don't want to go have some of that for lunch. I'm always looking for like a healthy snack after I eat. They're good. I don't know if they're worth that much. I think they were like $6. I don't know. Kind of just tastes like dark chocolate. But I'm gonna go run some errands. I need a chapstick. I am gonna go run some errands. I have to stop at Big Y. And then I wanted to stop at CVS because I need a concealer, and this new one that came out looks really good. I'll catch up with you guys later. I'm thinking of making tacos tonight before I have my Bible study with Nick, the marriage class. I don't know if you guys knew that, but we are in a marriage class and my parents are in the class, so I just think it's so funny. But I will catch up with you guys a little later. I just got in my car. So today is a new day and it's Wednesday. I have modeling for Bodhi later, but I actually kind of wanted to talk to you guys about something and touch on something that I think is very needed in this society, and something I think that could inspire you that you might not know about me. So back when I started modeling for Bodhi, before then I was praying and I was asking God to open up something for me to be able to model, or to be able to just do something that I loved, like to do a job that I truly loved. And it's funny how after I prayed and I asked God for that, it wasn't exactly what I thought, but it was something that he had given me, and it was also in like the beauty field, the modeling field, and it was for a boutique. I was trying to send applications. I sent applications to so many modeling agencies and I didn't hear back from one of them. For that, I just didn't know exactly what path God wanted me to go down. I've always felt like I've never fit like into society or into like a specific job or into, and not because I don't have qualities that I have amazing qualities that I could like do so many jobs. I have a marketing degree. There's so many things I could do, but something that really felt that was for me. I've never felt like there was like an occupation that was like, or just like something that I like, something that was just like me, you know what I mean? And because of that, I always knew that God had a calling on my life, or a specific something, and it was different than what like other people were doing. And that's just how I've always felt. whether that was creating content on social media or stepping into ministry through sharing my gifts, whatever it was, I just knew that I was not supposed to work a traditional job, and I just knew that that wasn't my path. So anyways, that landed me at Bodhi, where I am now, and I love what I do, obviously. But I do think that you would be surprised to know that although I love the makeup and the beauty and the hair, it's really not who I am at my core. And so I love those things, but that's not what I like. It's not what like sparks me anymore. And a lot of that has changed as I've walked with God. And as I've walked with God, I think a lot of people maybe who knew me in the past would even say like, you know, I love nature. I love like going for walks with the sun, and I love like having a cup of coffee over a conversation with someone. I love cooking. I love family. I love home. And I started to quickly realize, you know, I would talk about this a lot with my husband, Nick, and he's like, you know, you're such like a farmy type of a girl. You're such a homey, like non-traditional type of a girl. And it really is so true, but it took me so much time to really realize that like a lot of the things that I adapted and a lot of the things that I thought were me were things that I almost like a false self, if that makes any sense. I've been going through like a really big healing journey for like a long time, and a lot of just like stepping into more confidence of like who God has called me to be, and just like being more authentic, and just like really trying to figure out like who am I in this world without what anyone else has to put on me, without like if there was like one path that I felt like, I don't know, because I just feel like social media is so like oversaturated, and there's so many opinions, and there's so many like influencers, and there's so many people that you could be like keeping up with the trends. And I just started to get like a really distasteful thing about me where I was just like, that was just like my appetite has changed. Like that's not what like brought me joy. I started to notice like what really mattered to me was like having conversations with people, like real, honest, deep, truthful like conversations. Like I love that, and that like brings me joy. And I don't know, like I love like having a rest day once a week. Like I never used to be able to do that. I literally used to struggle so bad with resting. I thought I had to like work all the time to just be worthy, and like that's just not the life I live anymore. I've noticed that the Lord gave me a husband, that I am now married, and that's not the path that I was choosing. I really wanted to go focus on a career. I really wanted to go move to California and like do and pursue the things that I wanted to do, and that's just not the path that God had for me. He had other things for me. And I've noticed that like with that, I feel sometimes this like tension, because I'm like, I don't see like a lot of other people doing that, and like that makes me feel crazy sometimes, I guess. Like I don't have a lot of people to relate to in that sense. And I feel that God wants me to be that person to kind of own it and to be set apart and to be different. And I would lie to you if I said that I wasn't always like, I love how I am, but there's some days I just feel I'm not doing enough, or I'm boring, or like I can't come on here and just do like what I bought in a day, like what that just doesn't like feed me. Like it doesn't like make me happy anymore. And of course I still like love beauty. I literally am talking to you with a full face of makeup on and like my hair done, so like I don't want this to sound like hypocritical, because I still do love beauty and I love makeup and I love those things, but those things are not what take like precedence over my life, if that makes sense. Like if you were to ask me like what I'd prefer, I prefer a date night. Like, you know, maybe 5 years ago I'd be like, I want to hit the city, I want to go see all the things, I want to like whatever. And like if that's like your cup of tea, that's totally cool. But like for me in my life, like this is just like how God has been helping me, or not even helping me, this is literally just like what I've evolved into. Essentially a grandma. No, I'm kidding. But like I really just cherish the small, simple things about life. And sometimes I think I fight that with myself, because I'll like judge myself. I'm like, you know, is this like, I don't know, I feel like it's not accepted, and that's okay. But sometimes I feel that, and I'm just like kind of opening up to you guys about that. Maybe there's someone else who feels that, or like you're like searching for more. And I've noticed like I feel better when I'm like waking up and like having like a slower morning, and I'm not like so rigid with myself like I used to be. And you feel more free, if I'm being honest. Like back to like the date night kind of a thing. I would just like, I would really prefer over that having a night in, like cozied up on my couch in my PJs with a face mask on, like slathered on my face, with a tea with my husband, talking to him, having sushi, like watching a movie, hanging out with him or hanging out with family. Well, if it was a date night, I wouldn't be with family, but like that is like what I love. Like I look forward to that. And of course there's balance. I love a good night out. I love a night out, like to dinner. I don't go out. I don't drink, I don't go out. But besides that, I just, my everything has changed, and I'm changing, and I'm like evolving, and it's like sometimes messy and like kind of confusing, or just like, I don't know. So I kind of just wanted to preface this. I feel like even people could tell like my content has changed. Sometimes I'm like, this is so boring. Like I literally do the same things a lot of the times. I love my rhythms. I love baking. I love cooking. I love gardening, hobbies. I love like, you know, obviously like pouring into people, encouraging them. And sometimes I just feels like I'm not doing enough, but that's such a lie, because I feel the most alive and the most at peace and honestly the most joyful when I am prioritizing slow living and simple living and simplifying and getting rid of, instead of like always feeling like I have to like add stuff, or always feeling like I have to like perform, or like there's always this new it girl thing or this new trend. Like I just like honestly feel like I'm not alone, because I think there are a lot of people right now who are craving authenticity. They're craving something deeper. They don't just want surface level stuff. I think everybody's sick of like that like curated content, like that stuff that like, I don't know, like I guess I've always kind of like seen through that, and it just doesn't seem real. And I crave like realness and genuineness and like authenticity. I keep saying that because I don't know, I just feel like there's something so unique about someone who is authentic, and I can tell when somebody's not authentic and they're not being themselves, and I can just like sense that. I think all of us can, you know, like I think we all can tell when someone's like in their path and like they're meant to be like thriving like with what they are doing, or what the outfits they pick. And like I just think for so long, you know, like even when I was younger, I think I struggled to know who I was and what I liked. And so that's the journey that I've been on. Just noticed that instead of like always adding stuff, I've felt that getting rid of stuff has actually like made my life more vibrant, and like simplifying things have actually made me happier. And that's like crazy, because I never thought that I would ever be that type of a person, because I always was the person who had like a ton of stuff. I had tons of clothes and tons of things and just stuff like all the time, and like always like doing more and doing the most and doing 100 things. And like I just think sometimes like God has me in a season of like simplifying, doing less, doing things with more excellence, like, you know. So anyways, I don't know, I just thought maybe that somebody would relate to this. I do have to go eat some lunch, but yeah, I just wanted to talk. If you're on some type of a healing journey too, or you're discovering more layers of yourself, I'm proud of you. It's not easy to do. Sometimes you feel like you're like the only person in the world doing it, but I'm sure you are inspiring people. And yeah, this isn't to shame anybody who's like not doing that. It's more just kind of like to give you insight on me, like get to know me a little bit better, and kind of just share with you where I'm at. I think it's easy to just like sit here and pretend like, I'm going to work, like I got my hair done, my makeup's done, but like I just feel like maybe this could like help someone. So anywho, hi you guys, I'm currently editing this video, but I wanted to pop in, and I didn't have a clip where I was explaining any of this, so but anyways, the next clip that I show you is so crazy, because as I was editing this, I had caught this little moment on film with Nick and I, where we were just talking and listening to this video of this creator called Madison. Her name's Madison Gray, and him and I were listening to one of her videos, and God like literally spoke to me exactly about what I was just talking to you guys about in this next clip, and I wanted to show you because I thought it was kind of cool. and that you guys could see in real time like what had happened with me, and hopefully it can inspire you, but you'll be able to tell that like everything that I was saying to you guys is what I was like listening to. And then there's just this like one specific thing that I had been praying about, and God kept telling me this like phrase, like back to the basics, that he wants me to name something that I'm going to be doing in the future. And it was crazy because she literally said back to the basics. So I was like, oh my gosh. And like Nick and I just totally were like, okay, that's exactly the name you have to use. Like that's what you have to do. Like that's just like how God's guiding me. And it just like made me feel seen, and just like that everything that I was saying was being confirmed and getting an okay from God. So I know I don't show a lot of those moments because they're personal, but I thought in this video I'd show you guys like the little God winks that he gives me, because if he can give them to me, then he obviously can give them to you. And that is how God speaks to me a lot, through videos, through people, through songs, like things like that. And I thought it was cool just to catch it on camera. So anyways, back to the video.
Things like certain books I would read, or the Bible wasn't that interesting to me, and I can think is real. This feels rehearsed. You can feel it when you're with someone, and you can definitely sense it when people are talking. And that's what I love about YouTube. I think what we is authenticity. It's like to what we need in a sea of information and distraction and overconsumption. Even in the midst of that, somewhere deep inside, we know, because we're craving going back to the basics, back to the realness of
So
confirmation.
weird. I gotta send this to Christina. I feel like I'm always giving you guys a little grocery haul because I live at the grocery store, but I like to go every few days because I just don't always know what I'm making in like a week's time, and I don't want the food to go bad. So very quick little haul, healthy haul kind of. I got these eggs. Nick loves these sourdough bread. I wanted to try a tea that's good for bedtime, so I got that one. I'm gonna make this King Arthur's classic yellow cake because Nick likes something sweet, and then he loves these muffins that I also make. I needed floss. Boring. I'm gonna make some ground chicken bowls. I like to use this to make some lunches if I'm not in the mood for a sandwich or like a salad with chicken. I like to just like mix it up, put some like avocado in there, salsa, make a little bowl. I'm gonna make pesto tonight, so I got some thin sliced chicken. I like to use mushrooms for my eggs scrambled or just dinners. I like to do them as a side dish with steak. I just feel like I always need mushrooms, and these were buy one get one, so I got Nick English muffins for the morning. I don't really eat these because I don't feel like they're that healthy, but Nick likes them, so I got him that. And then I also got this detergent on Amazon because Nick and I have been going to bed and like putting on clothes. The detergent I've been using makes this itch so bad because I just think it has so many toxins in it and stuff that's just not good for you. So I've been researching, and I really wanted to try like a healthy detergent. I'm a sucker for something that smells good, and I don't like the way that like detergents, like kind of like healthy detergents smell. So I found this one, and it actually smells really good, like very healthy, and people said it's a way better alternative. I also know you can make your own detergent, which I've kind of been like interested in, but before I take that approach, I thought I would just try this, and I heard it's healthier, so Definitely need to do that because sometimes I even feel stuffy from it, which is crazy because it's like so bad for you. There's things in there that's like linked to getting sick and illnesses. What? What do you want? You like your food? Oh, you're hungry. Okay. This is Winnie's food. Just give him a scoop. Here. You hungry for lunch? And virgin olive oil, which is insane. He is Italian. This is what he likes on top. Or else he really won't eat it. Spoiled little puppy. But we started giving him that because it helps his like stool and he was constipated. And then now he like won't eat it without it. So he eats his food with olive oil. I can't even. And then I got this really cute hydrangea to put on the side while I do dishes. I just think the pop of pink is so pretty and very tasteful. So got that, and this little one is gonna sprout soon. I haven't really seen pink hydrangeas, so I thought that was cute.